Determining someone's goodness or badness can be difficult and nuanced, particularly given these thoughts can be arbitrary and differ greatly depending on one's cultural, moral, and personal viewpoints. The Stoic philosophy provides certain rules that can aid in this assessment. It is this philosophy that draws devoted adherents and is avoided even in the middle of a throng of people. May be found in nonverbal cues, wordless exchanges, and the invisible bonds that unite or divide people. Goodness, akin to sunlight, possesses the power to illuminate and warm those in its vicinity. On the other hand, evil, despite its attempts to conceal itself under the guise of kindness or concordiality, cannot sustain itself indefinitely. Although it is possible to appear good for a while, the mask of deceit eventually wears off, exposing what lies beneath. There are certain behaviors that indicate a person is more inclined toward evil than goodness, and by observing these behaviors, you can easily understand this dynamic among people and also guide your own conduct to be an even better person. In this video, we will uncover the subtle signs that, before we begin, I would like to ask that you pay attention to the content, and don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to the music channel. We will be discussing 9 behaviors that expose evil, so stay tuned until the very end because the last behavior is the most fascinating. Also, keep in mind that by understanding the issue, it becomes easier to make life decisions and look for wise solutions regarding your relationships. Traits of evil people. The inability to recognize and learn from mistakes is a sign that there is something deeper and potentially dangerous hidden beneath the surface. Take the example of someone who, even in the face of overwhelming evidence that they are wrong, stubbornly clings to their position like a fortress refusing to yield. This person builds walls of justifications and rationalizations instead of bridges of understanding and reconciliation. The inability to accept responsibility for one's actions, the propensity to distort the truth to support one's position, or even the capacity to turn the tables and make others feel guilty or accountable are examples of this. In contrast, genuine goodness is adaptable and humble. It acknowledges that mistakes are inevitable and present a chance for improvement. Since sincerely excellent people know that owning up to their mistakes and offering an apology is not a sign of weakness, but rather of strength and maturity, it is crucial to consider how someone handles their own faults when evaluating their character. Number 2. Like seeing others, but a repeated failure to repent, even when done in an obviously incorrect way, is a warning sign that the outward goodness might just be a well-manicured facade. A person who takes pleasure in the pain of others suffers. 2 may present a front of kindness and compassion, but their behaviors and responses betray this appearance. Rather than providing consolation or support during difficult times, this person may show indifference or worse, a subdued smile or a secret satisfaction in the face of others' hardship. Such conduct is really unsettling and indicates a serious emotional detachment. The inability to empathize with others and, worse, to take glee in their misery is a blatant indication of a potentially manipulative and malicious mentality. This lack of empathy is not only detrimental to people around them, but also a serious internal defect. This tendency can show up in a variety of subtle ways, such as hurtful remarks passed off as fun, or a reluctance to help when necessary. It can also be more overt, when the person takes advantage of the hardships of others or willfully chooses to disregard their suffering. 3. The third is uncommitted. Their words, though they may seem sincere at the moment, quickly lose value as they are adapted to align with what is most advantageous for them in a given situation. This type of person might agree with you one day, but completely change their stance the next day if they perceive that another option might benefit them more. This behavior is characterized by a lack of firmness in their convictions and a constant pattern of changing opinions and promises. This ongoing shift in viewpoint and disobedience to their own statements exposes a strong egocentrism and a propensity to manipulate events for personal gain. In essence, these people view commitments and relationships as exchanges in which honesty and loyalty are given up in the name of self-interest. Such people are untrustworthy sources of support and understanding because of their inconsistent behavior. Although they may appear understanding and supportive at first, this is only a fleeting impression that they alter fast to suit their own needs and interests. This conduct pattern harms relationships and fosters mistrust and confusion in the minds of those around SWS. 4. The perpetual attitude of discontent manifests itself in a series of less complaints. They see flaws in everything, and everyone focus too much on the bad parts of life without acknowledging or appreciating the positive aspects. This pessimistic view can extend to daily annoyances, personal relationships, and even global events. Rather than looking for solutions or taking a more balanced approach, they choose to descend into a spiral of negativity. This persistent dissatisfaction reveals a deep-seated insatiability where nothing is enough and they are always seeking more. This attitude not only poisons the environment around them and themselves, but it also conceals a lack of gratitude and an inability to enjoy life to the fullest. More importantly, this behavior frequently masks an ungrateful and egocentric personality that rarely finds genuine joy or satisfaction in the accomplishments or well-being of others. When they complain, these people may do so to get resources or sympathy from others, but they hardly ever make a constructive or beneficial contribution to the group's well-being. The fifth number is typically 5. Managing this urge for control can take many different forms. First of all, these people may pose as leaders or advisors, providing direction or support, but their sincere intentions frequently conceal an ulterior motive to influence events and people's behavior to fit their own agendas or moral convictions. Moreover, these people may act in an authoritarian manner, forcing their views and choices on others. Their actions indicate that they frequently disregard the needs, feelings, and views of others, suggesting that they feel superior to them. They can be callous and unyielding, expecting people to blindly obey their rules. Manipulation is another facet of their dominating personality. They can sway others' decisions and behaviors by employing strategies like guilt, subtle persuasion, or even emotional blackmail. Their manipulation is frequently so good that the victims aren't even aware they are being controlled. This need for control can also result in invasions of privacy and disregard for personal space. These individuals may meddle in affairs that are not their concern, posing as concerned or caring, when in fact they are really trying to hold on to power over others. Number 6. Displays 6. Lack of interest. These people are frequently taken for kind and nice individuals, act with a concerning lack of compassion and interest in other people. Indifference can take many little yet noteworthy forms. First of all, these people have a tendency to dominate conversations by concentrating mostly on their own interests, experiences, and issues. They do this in a way that leaves little space for other people to voice their thoughts or tell their tales. Furthermore, these individuals frequently display obvious disinterest when others speak. They could come across as preoccupied, inattentive, or quick to switch the topic to something that interests them more. This disregard for other people's needs and feelings goes beyond simple bad manners. It is a blatant sign of indifference and a lack of empathy. Another sign of indifference is the unwillingness or incapacity to recognize and validate other people's emotions, even in the face of their suffering or joy. In these situations, people may react indifferently, unable to empathize or provide true support. This indifference also extends to circumstances in which friends, relatives, or co-workers would naturally and predictably express empathy in times of crisis or struggle. In these cases, these individuals may appear startlingly distant, providing little to no support. Comfort or helpline number. 7. 7 people lie frequently. These people use lying as a tactic to control others and circumstances for their personal gain. They may fabricate stories, distort the truth, or change facts to their advantage in order to win sympathy and attention. A concerning aspect of this tendency to lie is the willingness to spread unfounded rumors, manipulate someone's words or actions to harm them, or incite conflict among people. This behavior not only breeds mistrust and misunderstands others, but it can also seriously harm the reputations and relationships of those involved. This manipulation can be so subtle that it can be difficult to tell fact from fiction at first. Moreover, often these people's lying is an indication that they don't respect honesty and openness, and in their relationships, they're prepared to compromise on the truth in order to forward their objectives without thinking about how their actions would affect other people. This displays extreme egocentrism and a deficiency in empathy. These people's capacity for convincing lies without feeling guilty also suggests a lack of moral and ethical values. Although they may defend their deceit as necessary or innocuous, these patterns of dishonesty undermine the integrity and trust of human relationships. The 8th emotional coldness is number 8. Individuals that possess this trait usually exhibit a detached and distant demeanor, with minimal or no concern for the problems or feelings of others. This emotional coldness is frequently accompanied by a kind of selfishness. These people are more focused on their own needs and interests than those of others around them. They may also be insensitive or indifferent to the struggles or suffering of others, concentrating only on what is advantageous or convenient for them. These attitudes can appear in a variety of contexts in daily life, such as in circumstances where empathy and understanding would be expected. A chilly person may react indifferently or even mockingly. They may downplay or dismiss other people's difficulties and show little to no solidarity or support. Furthermore, emotional coldness can also be a deliberate or unconscious strategy used to maintain control or dominance in a relationship. By remaining emotionally detached, these people avoid truly connecting with others and committing themselves to upholding a position of superiority or power. However, it's important to remember that emotional coldness is not always a sign of evil. In some cases, it can be the result of psychological defenses, past experiences, or even mental health issues. For this reason, it's important to assess this behavior in the context of other traits and behavioral patterns displayed by the individual in question number 9. 9 speaks negatively about others. This propensity to disparage other people frequently appears as observation or an honest viewpoint, but in actuality, it can be a tactic used to further one's own career at the expense of others by demeaning them. These individuals, in a paradoxical attempt to improve their own standing or image, may employ disdain or criticism as instruments to establish their superiority or increase knowledge. One particularly pernicious component of this trait is the inclination to criticize others behind their backs. This not only shows a lack of honesty and loyalty, but it also suggests manipulative behavior. If someone is quick to criticize others when they are not around, it's likely that they will do the same to you and other people as well. This behavior may also be a sign of insecurity or low self-esteem, because rather than developing a positive identity or self-image for themselves, these people prefer to stand out by demeaning others. Speaking poorly of others is a red flag when evaluating a person's character because it suggests a propensity for manipulating negativity and a lack of respect for others. It is important to be aware of these behaviors because they reveal much about a person's true nature, which may be hidden behind a facade of kindness or positivity. However, keep in mind that all aspects of life are complex and multifaceted, so an evaluation based only on a few interactions or observations may not capture the fullness of a person's character. Moreover, Stoic philosophy teaches us to concentrate on what we can control or manage rather than what is outside of our control. If you made it to the end of the video, I hope you found it entertaining. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you have any opinions, please share them with us and leave armored wisdom in the comments.